balances here. This is current year only.
Right. Has it accumulated?
It has. No, this is 1 year only. 3.6 is 1 year. Yeah. So if we didn't have the OPEB, we'll go on down here. Our ending fund balance would be $3,936,000. Then that's going to carry over. And I just wanted you to see, I put it all into the instructional program function. So that's going to carry over to our balance sheet. And of course, it doesn't affect the assets, but it does affect our liability. Other post-employment benefits, $3.4 million. So if I wipe those out, and our cumulative balance there is, see, is $4.168 million. That's our cumulative balance on our loan. So if we took that out, then another thing I kind of want to disclose to you, which is a little different than what Fred's accustomed to seeing and probably Steve is accustomed to seeing. We always take a portion of what we think our carryover balance is going to be to balance the next year's budget. Okay, you're kind of all aware of that. Well, we didn't used to set that aside and designate it. It just went in undesignated fund balance. So when the SBA started looking at our financial statements, they said, well, you got plenty of money. Because they couldn't see that that money was already designated for their next year's budget. So we have started putting it in a designated fund. And I just wanted to disclose to you guys how much of that designated fund balance is used to balance the next year's budget. And it's $1 million. So see the $1 million. That's what I use to balance this year's budget. And that's part of that designated. The rest of it, the $855,000, that's mostly Medicaid money that's carried over. So if I factor in and kind of go back to the old way of we used to do things, if I put that $1 million back into the undesignated fund balance and then I put back in the OPEBs, we would really have an undesignated fund balance of $2.7 million, which is real good for Lincoln County.
Let me pick up this $1 million that you're talking about. That's the fund, the balance this year, this 10-11 year.
And we've done that for years, Steve. Like I said, it's never been designated. And then once SBA started looking, it's like, well, wait a minute, let's go ahead and throw that into designated, because it is already designated. Because when we approved that budget, it's set aside and budgeted out. So we just put it in designated. Now, kind of, everybody good? Understand? And I try to put it back to the old way because, I know how I know what Fred's accustomed to seeing. And KK, you'll just have to get on board. You get new and old both.
The old school, just
yeah. Okay. But, without the OPEBs, we're good. If we would ever have to pay OPEBs, they're real bad.
In other words, we're not paying them now month to month.
No. Well, let me tell you what we do pay for. When we pay our health insurance premiums for all of our employees, $160 of everyone's premium goes to this retirement health benefit plan. So we're paying a small portion of it monthly, but it is accumulating much faster than what everybody's paying. And I really think the legislators are going to have to come in because, look at Lincoln County, we're small. I mean, Kanawha, Berkeley County, it's just huge. Cabell, I mean, it's a huge issue, they know it. But I agree 100% that this needs to be recorded and noted because it affects everyone in the state, actually everyone in the nation. It's a national issue.
Maybe put more pressure on the legislature to fix it, and all the boards, community, and papers write about it too. Because right now, it's really going under the radar, except for board members.
And until we started disclosing it, it was out there, but no one ever knew. I mean, this has been going on for years. Nobody knew it was there.
So the projected OPEB liability for next year would be similar to that?
Probably 3.6 million. And now, see, last year, the legislators threw in some money, so it wasn't so huge last year. But then this year, there was no extra money, so Lincoln County was 3.6 million, 1 year, 12 months.
Now, if they were to address this, do they have to relate, well, I guess they have to address what's accumulated up to this time? Or could they just go from this time forward? I guess it's.
I think
either
the
or.
accounting procedures will mandate that it's addressed and funded. I believe that it'll come down from
But
the.
if every county's designated so much money up till now, you know, if you're in the legislature, then they have the option maybe of saying, well, they've designated some money, let's try to utilize it and then go with more money. I mean, I'm just trying to think what their options.
Because they
are.
know this is just a bogus entry. And it truly does what, I mean.
But they
don't
potentially
expect us
can
to
do
pay it.
anything.
Well, that's what I mean, they,
Yeah.
And they might say, well, counties, we know you can survive if we pay half and you pay
that's what I
half.
mean, they might look for.
Then they might do something like that, but there's nothing that they have to do. We're at the mercy of what they do.
Well, I understand
There's
that.
no way any county can keep up.
And we
Yes,
can,
there's
right,
no-
and we,
This liability.
or if they give it to us and the state aid formula has to change to counter that, so we can pay for
That's big.
it. Something, they're gonna do something.
Yeah,
they'll do
it's
something.
big, it's a big issue.
What is the state?
I've
heard several different
Gosh, it has to be.
Or something.
Something big.
Yeah.
Okay, so good.
Okay.
Well,
Now, we'll have a workshop on the 28th if you guys want, and we'll, I mean, any particular things you want to see? Because this is just kind of a quick overview for you.
You made it clear.
Okay. Good, and that's, I mean, I know what you guys want to know the bottom line. Do we have money to do this with, or do we have money? So,
Do we
yeah,
have money to continue as we are?
Yeah.
We have
we're good right
take
now.
drastic action
No.
and spray? I mean, those are things we have to decide.
Of course, now, when we get into personnel season, which is soon, and we get our new formulas, and look at how many people we're gonna be funded, you know, we've got to start looking at that again.
Well, on the 28th, we can get more specific, I guess, can't
Yeah.
we? We have a chance to get this.
Yes.
We'll have our.
And I'll give it to you in a better format than just everything lumped into instructional. I mean, I'll give it to you and broken down. Here's how much we're spending on utilities. Here's how much we're spending in the maintenance, or, well, not the maintenance, but I'll just break it down into smaller categories for you so you can see it better.
But we'd have a better feel for monies that might be available for the 2011, 12. When Trish gets to present her
Personnel.
ideas.
And I don't know about our enrollment. It is, have we had any reports yet, Mr. Burke?
It's
Is
up.
It's up, so that's, anytime we're
Not a
enrollment's up,
lot,
it's
but
good.
it's up, and that's huge.
Yeah.
It's been down.
You darn on it. And automatically cutting when it's down. I mean, you just automatically.
Okay, KK, you good?
Mr. Steve,
I mean, if there's any, if I have any questions, we'll have a workshop on the 28th. But I mean, this will give me time to actually,
Okay.
something or wouldn't something, see what's going on. But anyway, does anyone else have any questions for Ms. Gandy concerning this financial statement? If not, I make a motion that we approve the financial item A, the financial
I second.
statement. Dr. Martin seconds the motion. All those in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. Let's see here, and I believe the last item would be adjournment, and I believe, I'd like to make a motion that we would adjourn until 6 o'clock at the county office on October the 4th.
I'll second.
Mr. Priestley seconds the motion. Any questions? Go ahead.
we're going to schedule a hearing. We have scheduled a hearing on our agenda for 5 o'clock. For that day, if that's okay. It is a employee hearing. It's to ratify a suspension and possibly to terminate.
All those in favor? Adjournment? All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned.
Just, it gives me